Hi, my name is Ketcham. I've been with RSC Equipment Rental for 6 years, and I've spent the first 5 years of my career in a management capacity. So I'm going to talk to you today about some words like utilization and ROI. And it's important for you to know that I spent the first 5 years of my career with RSC in the management capacity, because ROI and utilization and things like that are very important to me. It's part of my lifeblood. So when we talk about them today, understand that I'm coming from a place of having lived and breathed that for 5 years of my life. So as we have the opportunity to talk to key decision makers like you with responsibility for influencing and maximizing efficiency of company operations, we hear about the challenges you face in dealing with the equipment and tool rental process. In fact, these three numbers, 82, 46, and 2415, tell a story about the need to increase visibility and accountability, streamline processes, and achieve greater cost control and cost reduction in the rental process. Based on a survey that Texas A&M conducted several years ago, 82% of commercial and industrial firms acknowledge that an increase in rental utilization would result in an increase in operational ROI. However, in that same survey, 46% of these key decision makers acknowledged that they did not track rental utilization. Now, based on data RSC has tracked over the past several years, 24% of all rented equipment is past the estimated return date. And the duration of these overdue rentals averages 15 days. Leaders like you share with us how equipment rental is affecting short and long-term strategies. Here's another way to look at it. Our customers tell us about many different factors currently that affect the overall equipment rental scenario. These include decentralization. While a necessary element of many organizations, decentralized processes present challenges to overall effectiveness. Various systems used to manage the rental process. Numerous vendors enlisted to meet the organization's rental needs. Multiple employees that are involved in executing the rental of equipment and tools. And numerous crafts that require the right equipment and the right tools at the right time. So what is the net result of all of these different factors influencing the overall equipment rental scenario? Well, first, organizations routinely rent too much equipment. Rental duplication occurs, resulting in wasted resources across projects. Second, rental equipment is frequently kept on rent past the estimated return date. This results in unnecessary past due expenditures. Finally, there's excessive complexity in the rental process. Employees develop and use a variety of different processes to manage the organization's rental needs. In fact, we hear from some customers about excessive swivel time, which vividly describes how their administrators swivel back and forth from computer processes to manual processes in an attempt to manage the rental needs of the organization. So the end result of too much, too complex, and too long are excessive rental costs, excessive time spent managing the rental process, and a reduction in productivity of your company's most precious assets, the people that are managing this chaos. best, this is a reactive and fragmented process. And it puts your organization at risk. The greatest risk is not knowing how this approach threatens future goals. Effectively getting from today to a future level of operational excellence is affected by equipment management. So, how do some companies choose to manage their equipment rental process? Well, many companies do this by trying to negotiate better prices. They think that by negotiating better terms and getting better line item pricing for equipment is the way to manage the effects of too much, too long, and too complex. But what we've found is that the financial impact of managing the price, the line item pricing of equipment alone, has a 1/6 impact on too much, too long, and too complex. And companies that choose to manage according to price alone typically find themselves down in the abyss. Best-in-class organizations are choosing to work with RSC to try and bridge the gap between today and their future goals. They seek a better way forward rather than just dealing with price to manage the issues of too much, too long, and too complex to achieve their company's goals. So what are those goals? Let's look at 3 of them today. The first one is that of greater visibility and accountability. What if you had true insight into your rental process? With tools like Total Control, you can have complete visibility into your rental management process. And with RSC's Management by Exception, you can have actionable data with which to make decisions about your rental management. Some firms are even choosing to leverage GPS technology. The second goal is that of streamlined processes. What if you had a partner in managing your rental equipment? With RSC, you'll have the equipment and tools necessary to maximize productivity. You'll have a partner in maintaining a safe and efficient working environment. The third goal is that of cost control and cost reduction. What if you had the right tools and equipment to impact your overall ROI? With RSC, you'll have customized key performance indicators and customized data to validate and justify rental decisions. Data that is customized the way you want it to provide the information that you need to make the decisions that affect you in your everyday life. We call this RSC consumption management. And best-in-class organizations are using it to bridge the gap between today and their future goals. We found that RSC consumption management has 6 times the impact of too much, too long, and too complex of dealing with price alone. And best-in-class organizations are using this to get to their future goals. So if you want to align all the factors associated with effective rental management, if you want to move from a fragmented, reactive process to a repeatable, proactive process, your only path forward is dealing with RSC. A major oil and gas company chose to deal with RSC to deal with their issues of too much, too long, and too complex. And these numbers tell a story about the success that they were able to achieve in dealing with RSC. 35% was the increase that they were able to achieve on their utilization of some of their most key and critical items. This resulted in a 28% reduction in rental cost, overall rental cost. And they were able to do all this not in 3 years, but in 3 months. So the question is, what do we need to do to make sure that you have similar results to this major oil and gas company? So what do you think?